everyone. I'm going to take a few deep breaths here as I land with you. And I'm going to start off right away by flirting with you, because that's what this whole session is about. So taking a few deep breaths just to land here, just to connect with the body, with the energies around. The weather's getting nicer outside, so we're going to start off with describing to you the seductive art of flirtation. I'm going to add a little piece to this one this time, and I'm going to talk about the tease, which is really exciting. And then I'm going to share with you things that are going on in my life, in my coaching, and something new that I've just created that I think will be really lovely for women specifically. So welcome to those of you who are here live. Bienvenido. And welcome to those of you who are now watching the replay in IGTV. I'm Zine. I'm a seduction coach and a pleasure guide. And today I want to chat with you about the art of flirtation and tell you a little bit about how I view seduction. So if we look at the traditional definition of seduction, we always think about this almost like conniving or tricky way of manipulating a situation. Like a seductive person is someone who's like tricking you or convincing you to believe in something in them, like their greatness, their beauty, intelligence, whatever it might be. And the way that I use seduction, the way that I apply seduction in my coaching and in the videos like this, is by being so completely fulfilled in yourself, by seducing yourself, that what you're doing is just emanating your highest vibration and energy in a way that attracts people to you or life situations. This works for both people, romantic dating, whatever it might be, and it also works for things like clients or different types of life situations that you're looking for. So when we speak about flirtation, it's going to be applied in the same way. So the way that I speak about flirtation, and I actually introduced this for the first time on one of my dinners. So I run a Telegram group here in Valencia, Spain, called the Sexy Valencia Community. And one of our first dinners, I used to call them Fancy Pants Fridays, we would get dressed up and go to a restaurant, and we would meet probably around 10 people. And I introduced this art of flirtation at the table. And so everyone was flirting with each other around the table, and it was so beautiful, because you'll understand in a little bit why that is, because it's really emanating from the heart. So the way that I like to work with flirtation is by basically just sending love. So I always tell people to just embody love right here. And this is what flirtation is. It's like I'm speaking to you in the camera right now, or you could be a person in front of me. And my flirtation is I'm just simply sending love. I'm smiling and I'm sending this high vibration energy from myself, from what I have accumulated and started to build in my own energy and body, and I'm sharing that with you. So if we look at the definitions of seduction that I looked at before, where it's built on convincing people or trying to, a seductive person may be someone who uses words, very seductive words, to capture energy or do that kind of thing. When we look at it that way, the energy is really external, right? It's really very dependent on the other person. There has to be almost like a cycle happening between the two people for it to work. Whereas the seductive way that I look at flirtation, it's just about yourself. It comes back to this tantric principle that we have everything we need inside of us. And when I'm flirting and I'm simply emanating love, it kind of renders the other person irrelevant, right? The other person can be in a shit mood. They could not be receptive because they find your voice or your hair or your something annoying. And it really just makes no difference. Of course, it does feed when someone else is giving you the feedback and you add to it and you bring the play even more interesting. That's great. But it becomes almost like it doesn't matter what the other person feels or experiences. I'm just going to continue being me, being the fullest of me in my full energy, my full expression of sexuality, of love, of whatever it might be, because no matter what, that will impact the other person in some beneficial way. And I always look at this, the art of seduction, the art of flirtation, soon the art of tease, I'm going to give you in just a couple of seconds, around what's the intention behind it. Am I intending to trick someone into something? Am I intending to just bring benefit to everyone involved? Right? So sometimes it's good to look at, like, what are my intentions when I'm attempting to seduce someone or a life situation? Is it simply for my benefit, or is it for everyone's benefit? Is it something that will make everyone expand and enjoy and feel good about themselves? Right? People like to be seen. They like to be heard. So when you bring in flirtation in this way, you're calling in their joy, you're calling in their love, and often, very often, the response is that you receive that back, even if that's not what you were seeking initially, even if that was not the intention. It creates that beautiful play of love and of sexual energy at times, depending on what you're doing with that. So when I had the dinner in Valencia, my fancy pants dinner, everyone around the table was flirting with each other with this idea of just emanating love from right here and speaking to each other. And you could just see how everyone was lighting up, right? Everyone's face, everyone's energy was just lighting up, speaking to each other. Most people were not in a couple, right? They were just playing. They were just having fun and enjoying this way of viewing flirtation. And it was beautiful. And of course, it's hard to maintain that over a whole dinner and wine and all the things, but it was a really beautiful experience. And this is how I use it, and this is how I coach it. So my invitation to you is to try this out this week before our next Seduce Me Tuesday live, is try flirting in this way, in this just I am emanating love. You can do it with your family, you can do it with the pharmacist, you can do it, like it doesn't need to be someone that you're looking to date or someone that you're looking to have sex with or whatever. It can be absolutely anyone. You can flirt with your dog because all you're doing is emanating an expression of love. And it's really simple. Okay, so that's your homework for this week. And now I'd like to invite one more little piece into here that I did not do in the last video around flirtation, and this is the art of the tease. So similarly to seduction and flirtation, the intention is really important with the tease. So I created an IGTV or a live like this that went to IGTV recently that spoke about delayed gratification. So you may want to go watch that one. That's a really good one. And the concept here is similar to teasing, where you're not divulging everything, right? It's like delaying the gratification, it's like not grasping at everything to try and grab hold of it. It's like letting things evolve very naturally, very slowly, with the intention of increasing mystery. So Esther Perel speaks a lot about the mystery being that sexual tension and charge that keeps long-term couples alive. And so that same concept can be used with the art of the tease. We talk about, strip teases where you dance and then you just say, no, I'm not going to give you all the thing. You tease, you just do it a little bit and then you remove a little bit, you back up a little bit. The same can go for when you're flirting. So as a part of the flirt, the teasing is about not saying all of the things, maybe leaving a little mystery for later, maybe divulging a little bit more a little bit later on to create that mystery. And one thing that's important is that with the tease, it can shift gears pretty quickly. So again, the intention behind it is really important. Am I intending to create a mystery and a sexual tension in the situation that is beneficial to everyone involved, great. Am I teasing in a way that is to control the situation or create anxiety in the other person, which happens a lot with dating when there's like a more controlling situation. Ultra teasing then turns into something a little darker, right? If someone starts to pull away in a way that's to create anxiety in the other person, then it starts to shift into a very different kind of energy. It's less fun and less joyful. It starts to shift in this darker tension, which is not at all what I like and what I don't recommend you do, because it doesn't lead to good things. Anxiety goes down pretty quickly. So the art of the tease, again, is the intention for everyone to be enjoying themselves and for it to create some aliveness in the situation. Beautiful. Use it. Enjoy it. And if you start to realize that you're teasing because you want to create like a pull, then start to evaluate, is that because you have your own need to control the situation or anxieties happening. Cool. So the art of flirtation, and add in the tease. That is what you can practice in the next week. So for those of you who live in Valencia, Spain, there's a couple of things that are happening right now. On Friday, I am co-hosting our first poly meetup in Valencia, and that is so fucking awesome. So if you are like me and you are not necessarily fully monogamous, okay? So poly has a definition in and of itself, but you don't have to be fully polyamorous to join this. So I'm someone who believes in committed partnership and desires to move through committed partnership, but I've already decided that it will not be just with one person. And what I mean is that I desire a committed partnership with someone where we can play with others together, right? We can invite people into our home, into our bed, and have little situations like this and keep that energy alive, sexual energy, connection, a mystery alive, right? That is just the way that I like to do things. And that is not monogamous. And so this is how I consider myself to be poly. And there's so many ways, configurations that can exist around that. So if you are even just curious about it, but you have a tendency towards monogamy, please DM me and I will let you know where we're meeting, because this is a great opportunity to learn more. The couple that I am co-hosting this with has been together for 11 years and open for 7. So they've got a lot of stories to share and it's very exciting. I come from a history of a long 21-year relationship where we opened at a certain point and now I'm single and doing the more open type thing. So we have a lot to share and a lot to exchange around that. Cool. I also have a couples Tantra workshop coming up on Sunday for 33 euros per couple, and we've got 3 spots left in Rusafa, so please DM me about that if you'd like to join and reserve your spot. I would love to have you. And finally, I've decided today to create a group program for women, for las mujeres, called Seductress, and this is going to be 6 weeks where we're just going to dive into this idea of self-seduction, of sensual dance, of deciding what it is we desire and creating it in our body so that we just magnetize, whether it's people or dating life or romance or money or work clients or whatever it might be. We're going to spend 6 weeks together. This is online in a Telegram group and through live calls like this. And you'll get some private stuff in there too. And we're just going to indulge in the beauty of seduction and just like loving the shit out of ourselves for 6 weeks. And I'm so excited. That's going to open up on March 9th. And it's going to be $300 for the 6 weeks, or 200 if you live in Valencia. So if you are a Valencia resident, you can get it for 200 euros. Which is a no-brainer. These prices are really cheap for what it is. 6 weeks is like a month and a half, and there's going to be a lot in there. So I hope you'll join me for that. I haven't even launched it yet. This is just the idea, so you guys are hearing about it first. So please contact me if you're interested in that, if you want to hear more about it, if you want to be kept in touch. And aside from that, I leave you on a flirtatious note. I invite you to practice your flirtation and your tease, and I will see you next week, same time. Okay? Big love to you, and I will see you soon.